that if you're committed enough to do it and you take that action to move forward. All right. Along with ownership is accountability, right? We're all service members, either current or former, and so we know all about accountability, right? In the service, there's someone beating on you if you're not getting something done. When you're out of the service, who's holding you accountable? If you have a job, you have people in the workplace that may be holding you accountable, your boss. But what about when it comes to your career? Who's holding you accountable? You don't have someone beating on you saying, hey, did you get that resume written? Hey, have you been networking today? Right? Nobody's going to do that. Maybe your spouse, if they're going to be motivated to help you, right? Maybe your kids, if they're thinking about that. But for the most part, that falls on you. So you need to hold yourself accountable. And when those things don't happen that you want to happen, don't play the victim. Right? Too often there's people that just think that everything happens to them and woe is me. And how many of you know people that think that nothing is ever their fault and they never take ownership and they blame everybody else for what happens? Anybody know people like that? Right? Don't be that person. Right? No matter what happens, you're going to take ownership, you're going to own that game, and you're going to figure out what you do next to keep moving forward. All right. One of the concepts I talk about in my book is getting the next first down. So in football, it's not about throwing the Hail Marys every single play to get in the end zone, right? It's about getting that next first down. In the NFL, you have 4 downs. College football, you have 4 downs to get that next first down. Here, there's no 4 downs. There's how many downs you need to get to the next first down. But you need to focus on the next first down. So what does that mean? You have the goal, right? You've identified, okay, this is my short-term career goal. By the end of the MBV program, I would like to have this type of job, or if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, this is my business and this is what I want to have going by the time I'm done. That can seem overwhelming sometimes, right? You have family, you have kids, you have spouse, you have work. How am I going to get that done? You get demotivated sometimes because you just feel like there's too much to get done, and then you don't do anything, or you do less than what you would if you were always motivated. So if you break down those goals into shorter, more manageable, smaller, more manageable pieces, then that helps you make progress. So it does a couple things. One, it makes it more manageable for you. But 2, once you achieve those mini milestones, for example, then you feel good about yourself. You're celebrating the mini victories, right? So take time to acknowledge and celebrate yourself. So, example with the MBV program, I'm sure all of you want to have an updated resume well before you graduate the program, right? So that's going to be one of your mini milestones. Get that updated resume written. When you do that, take a moment to acknowledge yourself and appreciate the work that you put in to make that a killer resume, because that's part of the journey. And then you're like, all right, I've got this resume. Now let me start sending it out to these prospective employers, or let me now try to network even more. I've got this great resume that I can send out. But it gives you added energy and focus to keep moving forward because you feel like you've done something that is getting closer to your goal versus just like, oh, I'm 9 months away from getting a job. I've got to find a job. I've got to find a job. I've got to find that perfect job, or I'm going to go settle for something else because I need a job. Right? So